Chapter 1, Crimson Tempest. The crimson sun bled across the desolate landscape of Aerthos, painting the swirling dust devils in hues of fire. Twin suns, a chaotic ballet of light and heat, cast long, distorted shadows across the planet's surface. Xylos-Spire, a city of shimmering, bioluminescent structures, clung to the subterranean biome, a testament to the Kryll's ingenuity in adapting to the harsh realities of Aerthos. A monstrous wave, a tidal surge unleashed by the unstable twin suns, crashed over the crimson plains, swallowing everything in its path. The roar was deafening, a symphony of wind and water. Within Xylos-Spire, Captain Darius Kane, a weathered human explorer, watched the crimson maelstrom from his vantage point atop a human outpost, the jagged peaks of Aerthos's surface a perilous backdrop. His military uniform, though battle-worn, held the same unwavering professionalism as his steel-blue eyes. Ryaeth, a Kryll of the ruling council, with her translucent skin and fractal-patterned eyes, was trapped amidst the chaotic maelstrom. Her people's advanced technology had failed to mitigate the tidal wave's fury. The spire, once a beacon of Kryll resilience, now creaked and groaned under the strain. Debris, torn from the subterranean city, floated in the swirling currents of crimson dust and turquoise water. Darius, despite the impossible odds, felt an undeniable compulsion to reach her. A past mission's failure, a mission where he'd been accused of reckless abandon and endangering allied lives, haunted him, a constant reminder of the fragile trust between humans and the Kryll. But in this moment, the deep-seated fear of inadequacy was overshadowed by a primal urge to save a life. He sprinted toward the churning chaos, boots crunching on shattered rock. The storm raged with the ferocity of 1,000 tormented beasts. Crimson clouds, ripped apart by the gale, revealed flashes of raw, unfiltered energy. The water, stained with Aerthos's peculiar crimson dust, crashed against the shattered foundations of the outer spire. He fought against the tide, a raging river of destruction bearing down on him. Fragments of bioluminescent Kryll architecture, ripped from their moorings, struck him, cutting and bruising. Against the impossible odds, Darius used the jagged formations of the crumbling spire to navigate the treacherous landscape. He clawed his way through the debris field, limbs screaming in protest, determination pushing him forward. With each passing moment, the air thickened with a sense of imminent peril. His heart hammered against his ribs, each beat a drumbeat to the symphony of Aerthos's fury. He spotted Ryaeth, clinging precariously to a fractured section of Xylos-Spire, her translucent form almost lost in the maelstrom. The air around her was filled with the Kryll's unique, shimmering energy signature, a subtle and profound life force threatened to extinguish. He fought the torrent, inching closer through the debris, the crimson dust stinging his eyes. Ryaeth, her eyes wide with a mix of terror and resilience, offered a glimpse of her stoicism under unimaginable duress. Finally, with a desperate lunge, he hauled her free from the swirling chaos. The moment Ryaeth was safe, the world seemed to shift. The relentless storm began its retreat, the twin suns painting the landscape in a more tranquil light. Darius lay beside her, his breath ragged, the rhythmic pulse of her alien life force a fragile harmony against the raw turmoil of the planet. As Darius carefully brought Ryaeth to safety, he felt the first flicker of a connection, a silent understanding that transcended the vast gulf of cultural and species differences. But the aftermath was far from over. The human outpost was damaged, their supplies dwindling, and the Kryll city was fractured, leaving the question unanswered: was the storm an act of nature, or a prelude to something far more sinister? Chapter 2, Echoes of Failure. The air in the briefing room hung thick with the scent of ozone and suppressed anxiety. Darius, his uniform still damp with the crimson remnants of Aerthos's storm, sat rigidly, the weight of the past pressing down on him. His superior, Commander Anya Sharma, a no-nonsense human with unwavering resolve, paced before the holographic projection of the ravaged Xylos-Spire. The Kryll have sustained significant damage, Captain, Anya stated, her voice devoid of emotion. The loss of life, it's staggering. The projection flickered, showing a graphic breakdown of the tidal surge impact, highlighting the immense disruption to the Kryll subterranean city. Darius remained silent, his gaze fixed on the holographic image. The memory of Ryaeth's fragile form, clinging to the shattered spire, lingered. He'd risked everything, defying orders, and now the fallout was devastating. The mission had been a disaster, a failure to establish trust. Accusations from his previous mission haunted him, accusations of recklessness, of jeopardizing the alliance. Anya turned, her steely gaze piercing his. "We lost contact with the outpost. Any intel on the KRYLL's response to the incident?" "Nothing conclusive," Darius admitted, his voice low. "Their council is divided, it seems. Some hold on to mistrust, others are cautiously open." The holographic projection shifted, showing a sequence of internal KRYLL communications, intercepted somehow in the chaos of the storm. He heard the KRYLL council deliberations, the debates about the human role in the disaster. Voices rose and fell, fear and suspicion lacing their words. Mistrust, that had shadowed previous human KRYLL interactions, appeared to have taken root in the KRYLL society. Darius recognized some of the names and factions. A wave of guilt washed over him. Had his actions inadvertently exacerbated the underlying tensions? "The Obsidian Order," Anya spoke, her voice low, her eyes narrowed. "Their movements have intensified. Reports suggest they've been accumulating resources, specifically advanced materials, around the perimeter." Darius's brow furrowed. The Obsidian Order, a rogue human faction, had been a persistent threat. Their ruthless ambition, fueled by the desire to exploit Aerthos's resources for their own gain, had been a constant concern for years. Now, their involvement felt more ominous than ever. He felt a surge of anger. Could they be behind the sudden intensification of the storms, this act of nature that had almost cost Ryaeth her life? Suddenly, a sharp metallic clang echoed from the far corner of the briefing room. A KRYLL envoy, cloaked in dark shimmering fabric, stood silently observing. The envoy made no attempt to introduce themselves, a sharp contrast to the previous interactions. Darius, trying to restrain his impulse to ask questions, felt a sense of impending danger. Anya, equally alert, noted the envoy's demeanor, her gaze sharp as she anticipated the envoy's intentions. Could this KRYLL be an ally, or a clandestine observer? The meeting's tense atmosphere grew, and the weight of future conflict grew heavier. Later that night, Darius found himself staring at the star-dusted ceiling of his quarters, the twin suns mirroring the conflicting emotions within him. He felt burdened by the mission's aftermath, by the mistrust between his people and the KRYLL. Yet, the image of Ryaeth, her silent strength, her profound alien beauty, refused to fade. A different kind of mission began to form, one centered on redemption and understanding. The storm had passed, but the echoes of failure and the promise of a new beginning lingered in the air. Chapter 3: Bridging the Divide. Darius, defying orders, sought out the KRYLL. He wasn't interested in formal diplomatic channels, he craved understanding, a direct connection to the people whose world he'd almost destroyed. He'd seen the fear in Ryaeth's eyes, the stoicism masking a vulnerability that resonated with something in him. His journey led him through the labyrinthine corridors of Xylos-Spire. The city pulsed with bioluminescent energy, its architecture a breathtaking display of alien ingenuity. Instead of metal and glass, the city utilized shimmering crystalline structures and intricate, organic pathways. Each chamber seemed to breathe, with gentle hums and the soft rustling of unseen creatures. He found Ryaeth not in the council chambers, but in a secluded hydroponic garden nestled deep within the spire. The pungent scent of exotic flora filled the air. Ryaeth was meticulously tending to a vine of crimson-tinged flora, its leaves glowing with a soft internal light. She didn't look up as he approached, her posture unyielding, yet her movements were incredibly precise. "You're not supposed to be here," she said, her voice a low hum, resonating through the chamber. Her words held a hint of skepticism, but there was also an underlying curiosity. Darius bowed slightly, a gesture that he knew was almost a foreign concept to the KRYLL. "I need to understand." Ryaeth paused, her gaze intense. "Understand what? The devastation? Your reckless disregard?" She did not look up from the plant. "I understand your fear," Darius said. "Your suspicion. But I saved you. I wasn't trying to cause harm." He hesitated. I'm not here to speak on behalf of a fractured diplomatic mission. I seek to understand your people, your world. Ryaeth finally looked up, her fractal eyes, reflecting the bioluminescent glow of the chamber, holding a flicker of something akin to surprise. Humans, you place a high value on saving, but do you ask what we wish to save ourselves from? Is saving merely the justification for acquisition? Their first conversation, though fraught with tension, was surprisingly open. Darius found her logic compelling. The Kryll spoke of preserving the delicate balance of their world, of protecting the intricate network of life within Xylos-Spire. They saw humanity's approach as destructive, their history marked with a relentless pursuit of resources, often at the expense of other cultures. Humans don't always think with long-term sustainability, Darius acknowledged, his voice heavy with a kind of regret. We've been blind to the consequences of our actions. Ryaeth's face remained impassive, yet the way her translucent skin subtly shifted reflected a faint hint of emotional engagement. You are here. We observe. The bond formed over the past few days, it is strange, and quite possibly, fragile. As the conversation continued, Darius found himself drawn into the complexities of Kryll culture. He learned about their deep connection to the planet, their reverence for the balance of nature. He understood their fear, their reluctance to trust a species whose history was punctuated by conflict and exploitation. It was a profound and unexpected lesson. And Ryaeth, in turn, began to see beyond the fear and suspicion, recognizing in Darius an unexpected capacity for empathy, for humility. She began to see that his actions were not driven by malice, but by something more complex. The bond between them deepened, rooted in their mutual need to understand and to be understood. Yet, the looming threat of the Obsidian Order, and the fractured opinions within both cultures, remained a constant and dangerous reminder of the stakes involved. The journey toward mutual respect had just begun. Chapter 4: Hidden Agendas. The whispers of the Obsidian Order had grown louder, their presence now tangible, woven into the fabric of the escalating tension between humans and the Kryll. Darius, guided by Ryaeth, delved deeper into the subterranean network, their shared knowledge a potent force against the unknown. They uncovered clandestine Obsidian Order meetings, hidden within the shadowed corners of Xylos-Spire. These weren't simple resource extraction plans, they were schemes of a far greater ambition. The Order sought to exploit Aerthos's unique mineral deposits, not just for profit, but for the creation of a devastating weapon, a technology capable of unraveling the delicate balance of the twin-star system itself. Ryaeth, with her unique insight into the Kryll's ancient lore and advanced technology, recognized the Obsidian Order's ultimate goal, to weaponize the planet's unusual energy, exploiting the tidal forces and atmospheric anomalies. The Kryll, with their deep understanding of the system, recognized the danger, but the sheer scale of the threat overwhelmed their defensive capabilities. Darius, witnessing the calculated machinations of the Obsidian Order, saw a disturbing reflection of human ambition. The Order had no regard for the Kryll's existence or the well-being of Aerthos, viewing them as obstacles to be swept aside. This ruthless pragmatism echoed his own past failures, a chilling reminder of the depths of human ambition and its potential for devastation. Their investigation led them to a hidden chamber deep beneath Xylos-Spire, a vault containing ancient Kryll technology, untouched for millennia. As they explored, intricate glyphs and diagrams flickered to life, revealing the secrets of Aerthos's energy systems and the Obsidian Order's potential weaponry. Darius, familiar with human engineering, recognized the horrifying potential of this weaponry. They want to harness Aerthos's raw power, Ryaeth explained, her voice laced with a chilling certainty. Control the very forces that shape this world. They don't care about preservation, only domination. Darius shivered, not just from the dampness of the vault, but from the realization that the Obsidian Order was playing with forces far beyond their comprehension, and that the cost of their ambition could be catastrophic for both human and Kryll life. He saw a glimmer of a possible weakness. The Obsidian Order, consumed by their insatiable thirst for power, were overlooking the Kryll's deep-seated knowledge of Aerthos, their intuitive understanding of the delicate balance of the twin-star system. This knowledge, the key to neutralizing the Obsidian Order's weapons, was potentially in Ryaeth's hands. Their discoveries led them to a clandestine network of human sympathizers within the human outpost, individuals who recognized the Order's danger and were quietly working to obstruct their plans. Darius knew that these individuals were vital to the resistance. This revelation was crucial. It showed the extent of the problem and that opposition existed on both sides. The Obsidian Order, confident in their ability to control the situation, hadn't anticipated this kind of resistance, a subtle rebellion within both societies. The stakes had risen dramatically. The Obsidian Order, unhindered by moral concerns, had already begun their preparations for their final assault on Aerthos, and potentially the Twin Star system. This created a desperate urgency, and Darius recognized that the fate of both human and Kryll civilization rested in their hands. They had to work together, bridge the gap of mistrust, and confront the threat before it consumed them all. Chapter 5: Beneath the Spire. The bioluminescent city of Xylos-Spire, usually a symphony of gentle hums and shifting lights, now thrummed with an undercurrent of tension. Darius, accompanied by Ryaeth, navigated the labyrinthine corridors, their footsteps echoing in the silent chambers. They were on a covert mission, tasked with identifying the Obsidian Order's network within the Kryll community, a treacherous undertaking in a city where trust was a fragile commodity. Ryaeth, accustomed to the intricate pathways and subtle energy signatures of the Spire, moved with an almost ethereal grace, her fractal eye scanning for any sign of the Order's presence. Darius, relying on his human pragmatism, sought any outward signs of human interaction, subtle gestures, altered energy patterns. They moved cautiously, aware that every corridor held the potential for ambush. Their investigation led them to a hidden chamber, seemingly a simple storage area, but it held a deeper significance. Within, they discovered cryptic symbols etched into the walls, symbols that resonated with the Obsidian Order's insignia they had already identified. It was a network deeper than they'd anticipated. Inside, they found a complex communication system, a network of hidden conduits and nodes that facilitated covert communication between the Obsidian Order and their contacts. Darius, utilizing his knowledge of human technology, deciphered the encrypted messages. They contained detailed plans for weapons development and resource acquisition, but also a striking lack of detail on the Order's long-term strategy. The Kryll, in their turn, found patterns of communication of both human and Kryll contacts, indicating a complex infiltration and potential betrayal. Ryaeth, sensing a disturbance in the ambient energy patterns, pointed towards a hidden compartment in the wall. Inside, they found a series of data crystals, containing encoded information about Aerthos's energy sources. The crystals held the key to the Obsidian Order's plan. Their investigation deepened. They found that the Order had already infiltrated several Kryll research facilities, making significant progress in exploiting the Twin Suns' energy. But more unsettling was the realization that some Kryll were unknowingly collaborating, or at least tacitly accepting Obsidian Order influence. The communication system revealed not only the Order's presence but also dissent within the Kryll ranks. Some Kryll, driven by a fear of the unknown or by a misguided desire for security, were willing to compromise their values and traditions for the sake of stability. The divided council and the influence of the Obsidian Order made the mission even more complex. As they delved deeper, the growing bond between Darius and Ryaeth became more profound. The shared danger and their mutual dedication to safeguarding their world solidified their connection. The shared understanding of their mission was now their greatest strength. Darius, witnessing Ryaeth's quiet determination to protect her people, found a new appreciation for the unique values of her culture. Ryaeth, recognizing Darius's capacity for empathy and his unwavering dedication to the mission, began to see him as more than just an ally. They were becoming more than just companions, they were bound together in a shared destiny. But the truth came at a terrible cost. Their discovery alerted the Obsidian Order to their presence, and the hidden chamber became a battlefield, a terrifying display of both human and Kryll technology. The escalating conflict showed that trust and understanding were not just ideals, but necessities in the face of a looming threat. Chapter 6: The Fractured Council. The news of the Obsidian Order's infiltration reverberated through Xylos-Spire. Darius and Ryaeth found themselves caught in the crossfire of a rapidly escalating conflict, not just between humans and the Obsidian Order, but also within the Kryll Council itself. Ryaeth, as a member of the ruling council, was thrust into the heart of a crisis. Factionalism, long simmering beneath the surface, now boiled over. Some Kryll, swayed by the Obsidian Order's promises of security and stability, voiced support for a negotiated peace, potentially even one that involved ceding control of certain areas to the humans. Others remained steadfast in their opposition to any collaboration with humanity, fueled by a deep-seated mistrust. Darius, witnessing the internal turmoil, recognized the vulnerability in the Kryll's fractured unity. He knew that if the Kryll were to stand against the Obsidian Order, they needed a shared vision, a common purpose. He couldn't force unity, but he could expose the false promises of the Obsidian Order, highlighting the true cost of their cooperation. He found himself observing council meetings from the shadows, listening to passionate debates that echoed the very anxieties he felt. The Kryll, with their deeply ingrained philosophical and societal structures, had a different way of seeing the world, a way that Darius, despite his experiences, struggled to truly comprehend. The Kryll saw long-term societal implications, a much greater vision than humans often considered. Ryaeth, caught in the middle, struggled to reconcile the different perspectives within her council. She saw the Order's plans not just as a military threat, but as a societal crisis, one that threatened to erode the Kryll's fundamental values. The fear of societal collapse, similar to the fear the Obsidian Order instilled in humans, drove a profound divide between Ryaeth's peers. The council chambers, once a space of serene discussion, now echoed with accusations and counter-accusations. Darius, seeking ways to mitigate the damage, discovered a hidden network of Kryll dissenters, individuals who recognized the danger posed by the Obsidian Order but were powerless to influence the Council's decision. These individuals, many of whom were scientists and researchers, saw firsthand the Order's insidious attempts to exploit Aerthos's unique resources and understood the catastrophic consequences of their actions. He saw a potential ally, a group within the Kryll society that was ready to push back. Their investigation revealed that the Obsidian Order was not merely seeking to extract resources, they were subtly manipulating the Kryll's technological advancements to further their agenda, slowly corrupting the technology for their ends, a hidden danger that none had anticipated. Meanwhile, a Kryll zealot, Xylos, fueled by a fervent nationalism, emerged as a powerful voice against any cooperation with humans. His rhetoric fueled distrust and fear, creating an almost insurmountable barrier to any agreement between the humans and Kryll. Darius and Ryaeth understood that bridging the chasm between their two cultures required more than just shared knowledge, it demanded understanding, empathy, and perhaps a leap of faith. Their relationship, forged in the crucible of danger, now served as a beacon of hope, a testament to the potential of connection amidst the societal divisions. The path to defeating the Obsidian Order was becoming more uncertain by the hour, but it was a path that both Darius and Ryaeth were determined to pursue. Chapter 7, Whispers of War. The whispers of war, once faint murmurs in the corridors of Xylos-Spire, now swelled into a thunderous roar. The tension between the humans and Kryll, already strained by the Obsidian Order's machinations, reached a fever pitch. Darius and Ryaeth, caught in the cross-currents of conflicting ideologies and hidden agendas, found themselves increasingly isolated. The Obsidian Order, emboldened by the internal divisions within the Kryll Council, ramped up their pressure tactics. Subtle manipulations, expertly disguised, chipped away at the Kryll's resolve. Reports trickled in of human settlements on the surface being targeted, not with overt military action, but with carefully orchestrated acts of sabotage. The Order aimed to paint humans as aggressors, justifying their own actions and solidifying their influence within the Kryll community. Darius, determined to expose the Obsidian Order's deception, realized that a direct confrontation wouldn't be enough. He needed to unravel their strategy, to understand how they manipulated information and exploited vulnerabilities. He and Ryaeth delved into the Order's coded communications, analyzing intercepted messages, deciphering their carefully crafted propaganda. The language was intricate, coded references to history, to the planet's energy patterns, and to their own conflicting philosophies. Ryaeth, navigating the treacherous terrain of her fractured council, discovered a secret network of Kryll researchers, individuals who had been quietly working to reverse engineer the Obsidian Order's weaponry and countermeasures. This network, hidden in plain sight, worked tirelessly to prepare for the inevitable conflict. Their actions, driven by a desperate desire to protect their home, were a testament to the Kryll's resilience and resolve. This secret group, initially skeptical of human help, now saw Darius and Ryaeth as potential allies. However, their efforts were hampered by a growing zealot movement within the Kryll ranks. Xylos, fueled by nationalist fervor, used fear and misinformation to sow discord, turning the Kryll against the researchers and any hint of cooperation with humans. This faction, radical and uncompromising, threatened to derail all efforts at a united front. Darius and Ryaeth found themselves facing not only the Obsidian Order but also the internal divisions tearing apart the Kryll community. Amidst the escalating crisis, Darius and Ryaeth's relationship deepened. Their shared experiences, the dangers they faced, their struggles to understand each other's cultures, and their common enemy fostered a bond of mutual respect and understanding. But there were still moments of tension, moments when their different approaches to conflict threatened to shatter their fragile alliance. The atmosphere in Xylos-Spire became electric. The twin suns, their light casting long, ominous shadows, seemed to reflect the escalating tension between the Kryll, the Obsidian Order, and the humans. A sense of impending doom filled the air, a chilling premonition of the conflict that loomed. Their delicate alliance faced a crucial test. Could they overcome their differences, unite, and stand together against the formidable threat of the Obsidian Order before it was too late? Chapter 8: The Shifting Sands. Darius, guided by Ryaeth's intimate knowledge of the subterranean city, led the covert mission to a long-forgotten human outpost, a relic from a previous failed expedition. This forgotten outpost, nestled on the surface of Aerthos, offered a crucial piece of the puzzle, a potential weakness in the Obsidian Order's strategy. The outpost, once a hub of human activity, was now a silent testament to a broken promise. Dust devils danced across the Crimson Plains, carrying with them the echoes of a past mission, a past failure that now threatened to consume them all. The outpost's decaying structures, battered by Aerthos's harsh environment, hinted at the dangers and obstacles the mission was likely to encounter. As they descended into the crumbling structures, the air grew heavy with the scent of dust and decay. The outpost's decaying systems offered a glimpse into the Order's methodology. They discovered remnants of human technology, modified and integrated with Kryll components. This integration, the careful melding of human and Kryll technologies, raised a chilling question: were the Obsidian Order scientists attempting to weaponize this combined technology? The answer seemed terrifyingly likely. Within the desolate corridors, Darius and Ryaeth unearthed a cache of encrypted data logs, revealing patterns in the Obsidian Order's communication network that had gone unnoticed. These logs contained crucial information, not just about their current plans, but about their long-term strategy, plans that both Darius and Ryaeth had been unable to put together. The Obsidian Order, far from being an isolated threat, was working in concert with seemingly disparate groups and factions, hidden within Aerthos's complex network. They were not merely extracting resources, they were attempting to take control of Aerthos's destiny. The outpost's archives contained blueprints for a powerful energy weapon, the very weapon they suspected the Order was developing. It was a weapon capable of harnessing Aerthos's unique atmospheric anomalies, a devastating technology capable of altering the balance of the twin-star system. The humans, in their short-term greed, had unleashed forces far beyond their understanding. This presented a critical opportunity. But the outpost wasn't just a repository of data, it was also a testing ground. They found evidence of failed experiments, of modifications gone awry, hinting at the Order's struggle to control the technology they sought to weaponize. This potential vulnerability